Oh man, this is the moment every NASCAR fan has been waiting for, and almost nobody saw it coming this way. A warning had just been sent to the entire NASCAR Cup Series field. It didn't come through a microphone. It didn't come in a press conference. It didn't even come through social media. It came off a stopwatch on a brand new street circuit where, in theory, nobody was supposed to hold any advantage at all. Coronado changed that assumption in a single session. The Naval Base Coronado Street Circuit in San Diego carried no history, no data from previous Cup Series races, no setup notes from past seasons to lean on. It joined Chicago as one of only a handful of true street circuits the Cup Series has ever attempted, built around concrete walls, tight corners, and a temporary surface that punishes any setup mistake immediately. Every driver in the garage was starting from zero, on a layout nobody had ever raced on before, on a weekend that closes out one of the most unpredictable stretches of the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series calendar. This was supposed to be the one weekend where literally anyone in the field could end up on top, regardless of past results, manufacturer, or experience level. Then one driver showed up and made it look like he had been racing there for years. When qualifying ended, the number 97 Trackhouse Racing Chevrolet sat on pole position. The name attached to that car, Shane Van Gisbergen. Before going further into how he did it and what it could mean heading into Sunday's race, this channel is NASCAR Racing Central, and we're closing in on 1,000 subscribers. If breakdowns like this are the kind of NASCAR content you want more of, subscribing, liking, and dropping a comment with your prediction for Sunday genuinely helps this channel keep growing, and it takes only a few seconds. Van Gisbergen's reputation on road and street courses has followed him across every technical circuit the Cup Series has visited since his arrival in the series from Supercars competition. The numbers from Coronado back that reputation up directly. His pole-winning lap was timed at 2 minutes, 14.788 seconds, an average speed of 90.809 miles per hour around the 3.4-mile Qualcomm circuit layout, a track length far longer than almost any other circuit currently on the Cup Series schedule. He beat second-place qualifier Carson Hocevar by just 0.156 seconds, a margin small enough to fit inside a single braking zone on a track of that length. The result marked his 6th career Cup Series pole, his 2nd of the 2026 season, and the 4th pole of his career that he has gone on to convert directly into a race win, a conversion rate that puts him well ahead of most of the field at tracks of this style. What makes the result harder to read is what Van Gisbergen said about it himself. Throughout the weekend, he downplayed his own chances heading into Sunday rather than building expectations around the lap he had just produced, a pattern that has shown up at other circuits earlier in his career as well. Van Gisbergen said his long runs weren't that great yesterday, and added that race day would be a bit of a gamble and a lottery. With the tires, those comments came from the same driver who had just out-qualified the entire Cup Series field on a circuit nobody had previous data for, despite touching the wall twice during his own qualifying session. The gap between what he said publicly and what he produced on track is difficult to ignore. There is no evidence that the comments were anything other than genuine caution about tire wear on a brand new surface. But the contrast between the words and the lap time speaks for itself, and it is the exact kind of contrast that fuels speculation among competitors and fans alike, heading into a race weekend already short on hard data. The rest of the NASCAR world noticed immediately, and reactions followed within minutes of the session ending. Motorsports journalist Jeff Gluck said every time NASCAR builds a new road or street course, Van Gisbergen somehow looks like he's raced there for years. Fellow reporter Jordan Bianchi called the pole a reminder that Van Gisbergen remains the standard on these layouts until someone proves otherwise. Dale Earnhardt Jr. reacted directly to the lap itself, saying that despite a brand new track and walls everywhere, Van Gisbergen still finds a way to put it on pole. Even Kyle Larson's own team account acknowledged the gap, posting that the track changed a lot and SVG definitely laid down the benchmark. A fan account, Race Day Critic, added that the concerning part isn't the pole itself. It's how routine these performances are becoming for Van Gisbergen on tracks exactly like this one. Outlet Motorsports Talk closed the conversation with a pointed line of its own. Coronado was supposed to level the playing field for every driver in the field. and instead it may have revealed just how far ahead Van Gisbergen already is. While Van Gisbergen sat on pole, the rest of the championship contenders were buried deep in the starting order, and the names involved made the gap impossible to dismiss as a fluke of an unfamiliar circuit. Points leader Tyler Reddick spun and brushed the wall during his qualifying run, salvaging only 17th on the grid, heading into a race where track position on a narrow street layout matters more than almost anywhere else on the calendar. Denny Hamlin, riding a 3-race win streak and sitting just 19 points behind Reddick in the standings, qualified 26th, well outside the front rows he has occupied for most of that streak. Kyle Larson, who led Friday's practice session and holds the best road course record of any driver at Hendrick Motorsports in the next-gen era, could only manage 14th once qualifying mattered. Christopher Bell, racing through a broken wrist injury sustained earlier in the season, qualified 37th, with Brent Cruz standing by on-site as a relief driver in case Bell is unable to continue through the race. Jimmy Johnson, racing at his own home circuit in San Diego in front of a hometown crowd, qualified 36th, well off the pace despite the local familiarity many expected would work in his favor. Every name on that list carries a championship, a manufacturer title, or a points lead behind it. None of them came within half a second of matching Van Gisbergen's lap time. The gap on the timing sheet isn't just a technical problem for the rest of the field heading into Sunday's race. It is a psychological one. Every driver who qualified behind Van Gisbergen now has to answer a question that has no clean response. How do you beat a competitor who keeps proving, on every new track the series visits, that he already belongs at the front before anyone else has even figured the place out? Coronado was meant to be the test case for that question, since none of the usual advantages, prior laps, simulator data, team notes, were available to any driver, Van Gisbergen included. Road and street courses have become one of the fastest-growing parts of the NASCAR Cup Series schedule, with more circuits in this format already being discussed for future seasons. Van Gisbergen's results on these specific layouts are increasingly shaping how teams across the garage think about driver development and recruitment going forward, particularly as more street and road events are added to the calendar in the years ahead. Coronado was supposed to be the great equalizer of the 2026 season, a circuit where past experience meant nothing, and the entire 36-car field started even for the first time all year. Instead, the only thing the session equalized was how far behind everyone else now appears heading into race day, and how little margin remains for any of them to close that gap before the green flag falls. The green flag hasn't even dropped yet, and the rest of the field already has a mountain to climb. If you enjoy real NASCAR breakdowns like this, you'll like what's coming next. Let us know in the comments who you think actually has a shot at challenging Van Gisbergen on Sunday, and share this video with another NASCAR fan who needs to see this before the green flag drops.